Welcome to Sacred Rebellion. I'm Kim Andryc.
And I'm Lora Solomon. In this podcast, we defy convention and shatter the stereotypes of what it means to be healthy and holy.
It's time to rebel.
Let's do this. Coming up on this episode. Hey, Kim.
Yeah, we got another good episode coming up.
We have an oracle. We haven't had an oracle on our show. I'm so excited.
I hope she sees great things in us. Tamra LaRese is a divine oracle who accesses the higher self for answers pertaining to personal empowerment and authentic living.
Yes, using emotions as our innate guidance system and access point to spirit, safety and authentic living and vulnerability isn't scary. It's where the life gets good.
She offers a number of services, which we'll get into later, but that really help to do deep work into higher self, energy attunement, and to release trapped emotions around trauma, and really allows a quantum leap into your life's purpose. So really excited to jump in. Welcome, Tamara, to the Rebellion.
Well, thank you. We are in a rebellion, aren't we? It's time to stand up and shine. So it's wonderful to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Yes. So I know that you talk about this on your website, but will you share with our listeners how you became the divine oracle?
Yeah, that's an interesting story. So mediumship has always been a gift of mine, a clairvoyancy. And I just thought it was very natural. At home, when I was younger, we talked about spirit. Those who have passed come, they share messages. And it just was, and I didn't realize that it wasn't something that everybody talked about openly or experienced. For me, the awkward or hardest part about it was realizing that when it wasn't so normal, that maybe I didn't want to necessarily share that information when somebody would come through with the living. Like, it wasn't odd for me to talk to somebody who had passed. It was odd to share that with the living. Like, do they want this? Is it going to be uncomfortable for them? Because, that can be a really tender subject, someone who's passed. So then I began, so it just kind of was there. Didn't really think a whole lot of it. I was living my life in the corporate world, and then could feel this pull, this tug that I needed. There was more to me. And I remember going to see a spiritual mentor early on in my kind of awakening experience. And I kept it, and she asked me, "Why are you here?" And I said, "There's more to me. There's more in here. I'm just not sure how to access it." And so she thought that maybe, with her, she thought maybe I just need to access leadership skills. Well, certainly, it just took on even a bigger turn than what I expected. I began learning about emotions, and because I personally had been using my career to supplement my worthiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kim don't know anything about that.
Yikes.
We can do that. Everything
or me either. I shouldn't pick on Kim.
It's true. It's true. I love affirmations and validations, and I get it lots at work. So yeah, I can totally relate.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
And
yeah,
exactly. We're not alone, right? We're human. We're all experiencing these things at different levels and phases. So, I love that. That you experience that as well, and can recognize it as kind of another leaping off point, or an acknowledgement to, like, wait a minute, there's another way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to her, and she, we kind of explore this a little bit. And then I'm, learning about emotions. I actually became an emotion code practitioner, and learning how to release trapped emotions from the body. And then I began, like, feeling very compelled, like, as I sort of cleared up my own energy field, I began feeling compelled to, like, go on these journeys with, like, ascended masters and even beings from off-planet beings, galactic, and just learning how to really hone in on the different energies that are available and supportive And then at one point I was literally just kind of minding my own business one day, making cinnamon rolls, and white buffalo woman like enters in, like, you know what I mean? She's like, and like you and I right here, you know, us sitting here talking, she just kind of steps forward and she let me know that you're a divine oracle. And she sort of there was sort of this anointing process that took place in my mind's eye, but was very visceral. It was very, very clear experience, no denying it. And so my question was, what's the difference between an oracle and a divine oracle? And she let me know that a divine oracle is one that sees the highest trajectory for someone or humanity. So and that's, I'd been learning about the higher self, and I realized, you know, we all have that divine intelligence residing within us, and it's connected to infinite connection to the entire universe. And so all answers can be derived from this. And in order to be so the higher self resides in, and I know that's kind of like a controversial subject, but essentially it resides in a 6-dimensional space, which means it's non-physical. Okay. And it's energy. And in order to be at that consciousness level, you would have to be in service to others. Okay. So in order to transition or to evolve to a higher consciousness of a 6th dimension, or to be in that space, it has to be a positive intention for all involved. So I recognize that everything that I do must be through the bridge of my higher self when I'm connecting and communicating and working with others. So when I'm hearing somebody talk to me in my office or on a Zoom call for our sessions, I hear where they're at on a human level, but I can simultaneously listen to what it is that you want, because your higher self is extracting the pure positive potential out of that and is continually offering that to you. So my role is to listen to both and help bridge that gap so that you can make those transitions and shifts in your own personal life.
Yeah, that's
Was
fantastic.
that?
Okay. So, I'm just asking like a really practical or maybe silly question. So just being here with Kim and I right now, are other beings around us?
Okay, so
Like,
so
is
when
that
I
something you
do
turn
this, I
on
have
or
a
turn it
method of
off?
doing this.
Okay.
I do simply because I don't want to walk into the grocery store
Mhm.
or to the bank and know everybody's business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be picking all that up. So for me, what I've had to learn is to tune completely into myself and be acutely aware of how I'm feeling so that I am connected with my higher self 100% of the time. And then when we go into session or I'm doing, and we could do this if you wanted to, we
It might be
could,
fun.
but there's a specific process. Your
Yeah.
game, you're up.
I'm
Yeah,
game.
for sure. We're
All right,
always game
cool.
for stuff.
Okay. All right. It's a lot of fun. I'm so fascinated by my work because I can never guess where it's going to go. It's just I'm just always so curious.
I
Okay.
guess I
So
shouldn't
which
speak
one's
for Kim.
first?
I'm game.
I'm game. You know
Okay.
me.
I love it. Okay, so Laura, we'll do you first then. First of all, do you have a specific question that you'd like to ask?
So I'll just say what's coming up for me today. Like I notice that I have this thought that comes that I'm not doing enough.
Okay.
And it's like
Right.
I know that it's not true. It's like, where's that coming from? And how can I work with that and shift that? Or, that's just kind of that's very present in my face right today.
I love it. And simultaneously, I'm experiencing the same thing. So just like on a side note, without diving in just yet with you, I do want to say that we are currently in a collective shift, right? There's consciousness rising on the planet. And one of the biggest things that's moving right now, big opportunities for each of us, is to end this paradigm of codependency. Okay. And so what we're learning how to do is to self-source all of everything that it is that we want without having an external expectation from somebody else, or even an external expectation from an existing system. Okay. So we're in this opportunity right now to like really hone in on our spiritual aspect, providing everything for us. Okay. So that's what you're experiencing on a very personal level, is this collective shift of letting go of any codependent programming that you have in your body. And a programming would be the way that you perceived and used that energy to create your own reality. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so now let's go in a little bit deeper with your higher self. I always get excited. I like literally every time I get excited. Okay. So the way that we do this is you take the really cleansing deep breaths, take 3 of them. And then just set a soft intention. And this employs your higher self. So set a soft intention for your root chakra to open nice and wide. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my goodness, just beautiful space there. Okay. And I mean, my gosh, your root chakra feels like a cloud. It feels poofy. It feels soft. It feels like sure. And like it's there, but it's not like so anchored deep in an expectation so much. Like there's some really great energy in your root chakra there, Laura. Okay, so go ahead and then now open up your crown chakra by just bringing that soft awareness, saying that soft intention for the crown chakra to open up. Open up. Oh my gosh, like you have like this divine goddess energy. Do you connect with goddesses?
Mm-hmm.
She's got all of her chickens are named
I
after
named my
goddesses.
chickens. Got it. I have a chicken named Isis.
And one
Do
named
you have a
Mary.
chicken name? Yeah, that's really powerful in your field. And I can feel the goddesses that you call in, inspiring and working through you. So like it feels this very I want to say, I don't know if this is exactly the word, but like a humbled or like a very respectful energy around this majestic power. Okay. So that's the kind of the energy that's working through you and working through your body. So now just go ahead and ask your higher self if she'd like to step forward, please, and just make that clear connection between you and I. So your higher self is just really jubilant. I mean, she's really excited about your journey. She loves all of the things that you have been bringing forward for yourself. She said there was a period of time in your life where you had really strong self-doubt and were kind of in a darker place, and you did all kinds of work to bring yourself forward. And now you're seeing an exceptional amount of fruit. Literally like the fruit has blossomed and you're picking that fruit right now. She's sharing with us. She is elated, and you can feel the elation that she feels often through your body with these higher vibrational feelings. So she says that you are exactly in the right place. I want to just ask her about that energy specifically, if there's more that she'd like to add to the answer that had originally come through about the shift. Okay, so do you do work with your heart chakra?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you intentionally working with your heart chakra?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
There's something. Go ahead.
I notice that I have to, because otherwise I get really into my head. So I have to be intentional about it. It's not, but yeah, I have been doing that.
Okay, so what's kind of nagging at you, or this like kind of tug of energy in your heart chakra? She's saying that you're kind of overcompensating for. So I just want to get just really clear here about what it is that she'd like you. So it seems pretty simple, at least right now. So sometimes the message won't come whole. Sometimes the message will come in a stream. And so I just need to share as it comes through. Okay. So as it's coming through, she's saying for you to, so maybe you already are doing this, that breathing into this intentional, like, awareness into your heart chakra, but there's something that you're, kind of ignoring, covering up. I don't know if this is around the loss of somebody. Did you experience a really heartbreak of some sort that that you're not wanting to really process through?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's saying to you, like, essentially, I've got you. I've got this. And if you were to just spend time allowing yourself to feel this, and I don't think that this is a foreign concept or foreign practice for you, to be able to let the feeling rise, like you said, like let go of thought. So when we're processing emotions, the most important thing is to not attach any story or details to it. Okay, so there may have been a very strong event that took place in your life that has this, that you would think of, right? It's surrounded, that energy surrounds it, right? So we, just to kind of go broad again real quick, we have frequencies that are inside of our body that actually produce our external experiences. Okay.
Right.
And I'm not saying that as in you're responsible for what happened. What I'm saying is when you go in to feel it, it will trigger a thought. Okay. So recognize that that's what's happening. And when you go into the storyline or the thought around it, then you're going to be producing more things that you're going to see like that. Maybe then you would watch a movie that would triggers that. Maybe then you have a conversation with somebody who's experienced something like that, and it just continues to kind of like trigger that frequency. Okay. And it's essentially what it's doing is it's producing life. Okay. When you add a story or thought to it. So your emotions are not what is creating your reality. Your thoughts are. Your emotions are telling you, once you have an emotion around something, that now you are in fact creating from that thought something similar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're going into your heart space, there's something that wants to come forward. Okay. And I can literally feel it in here, right here. And you just don't want to. And so, so that's going to be a very personal thing for you. But she's saying is she's holding your hand, and that if you just look at this like it's only energy and you let it dissipate on its own by viewing it, by loving it, by not judging it and not going into thoughts and stories around it. It's only energy. It will dissipate, and it will literally, she's saying right now, it will literally blossom into this unfolding of places in your life that you have felt like you haven't been able to open up these areas in your life, and it will bring forward what it is that you're looking to produce in your life.
Wow. Thank you.
I was thinking I was going to need to go get my tissues because it looked
Well,
like,
I'll just say this really quick. Like when you said that, I'm working with someone right now and I'm concerned that he's not going to do well because he's very dependent on a substance. And that is what happened with my sister. And then my sister ended up dying as a result of the dependence. So I think, and that's where it triggered this, I'm not doing enough because I can't get him to stop using this other substance.
which goes back to what,
with the codependency.
Tamara was saying about codependency.
But he came to me for help, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to help him. And so then that feeds
Okay.
into I'm not doing enough.
which is
That's beautiful.
familiar.
Okay. So sorry, I apologize. Okay. I just really get so
And
excited
like,
about
I
this
know
stuff.
all
It's
that, like,
fascinating.
I know this, but it's like, it's interesting how this pattern just keeps coming back over and over and over.
Well, it does, because it's an unresolved frequency that is held inside of your body because it's been so painful that you have kind of just kind of shut down that space, right? You're just like, nope, I don't need to. There's all this other life that I can live, which fine, great. But at this point, you're being asked to let go of that energy. And that's why he came into your life. And now that explains when you said that you're not sure that you're going to be able to help him because of his dependency, because I literally saw, do you know it's not cherry blossoms, but they're the big, it'll be the big blossoms. They'll be like this, maybe
Hydrangea?
it's several different flowers on one,
Like a
what is it?
gladioli or hydrangea?
Maybe, but it has like this huge, like blossoming, like energy, but it's like a big, it's big, white and poofy. It's kind of like your
like a round
root chakra.
one?
Mhm.
Is it
It's
round?
elongated. It's
Okay, then.
elongated, kind of, and I don't know if they're separate flowers. Maybe they're separate flowers that all just. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I'm getting a visual.
Okay, great. So literally what I'm seeing when you are able to release that energy. So again, take the story, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that very, very honoring way, but remove the thoughts about the event that took place with your sister. Go into your heart space and breathe and let that energy, just watch that energy gently and lovingly. It will dissolve. Okay. And when it dissolves, you will then have the open space. You've now energetically opened on a conduit for the healing that this man needs, and he will be able to receive that from you.
Cool. All right, Kim, your turn.
Laura's got to dry her eyes for a second.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm Katie. I'm
That's how
okay to
you
keep
do
it real here.
Yeah. We're not afraid to show our emotions.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Laura. That was beautiful. I appreciate you trusting me, and you, Kim, trusting me, especially after that vulnerable. Then this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So I had said, oh, my internet, did I freeze?
Nope, you're still there. You're
Okay.
good.
Okay. So my internet was unstable. No. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. When I said that vulnerability, it isn't scary. It's where life really gets to move through us. Okay. So it can be perceived as scary because it's unnew, but when you sit with it, you begin to recognize that the idea of scary was all self-made, and it's not really true. It's a matter of that presence and being quiet and literally just sitting with and then knowing where you're going. Like when we have an idea about where we're going, when we have an idea about what we'd like to birth or create, that will be kind of the propelling force to move us through that vulnerability. But giving yourself the space to sit with it and then recognize that it's not true. And then the energy can shift and move inside of our bodies as we sit with it. And then that's where, like, the Japanese, what is it called? I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but
Origami.
the Japanese tradition where they put the gold in the crack.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The bowl.
And it makes
Yeah.
us stronger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it creates a stronger a structure out of the bowl or the cup. So this is literally what happens. And then life, and if we recognize that this is the whole thing, our entire life is a visceral experience. That's how we begin to that's how we recognize energy. That's how we speak energy, is through our emotions, and that's how our spirit is speaking through it to us, right? And so if you really want to get on board with like riding the waves of your life in a way that is pleasurable, it's not being afraid to feel anything, just feel and let
Yeah.
go of the story.
And what's interesting is, so often when we have guests on the podcast, we're all doing similar work. We're just coming at it with maybe a slightly different approach. And I know, Lora, what you wrote about in your book and what you help people do in your work is really embracing their story, the story that has been in place through their life to this point, like embracing that and seeing the perfection in the survival skills that we develop through our experience, right? Like, it's just interesting to me all the time that there's just this parallel that exists, and it's beautiful.
And, I can write a book about it and still have this continuous unfolding.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like
end. We never
none of us are
arrive.
like, right. So it's ongoing.
We're infinite.
And what I
Yeah.
was thinking about,
It is.
the relationship between trauma and the story that gets embedded because of trauma, and then reworking that, and then having the human potential, kind of that, as the stepping off point, or so many times we don't want to deal with that, but that's where our potential is. It's like our baggage is our unwrapped gifts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But who
eloquently
wants to be
said.
in their own smelly trash?
Right.
Like none of us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of us. And so what happens when you choose a better feeling emotion, when you're in a place that you are able to, and you consistently choose a better feeling emotion, when you turn back and you look at like what you're talking about, those traumatic events, or the story about our life and about ourselves, it shifts because now you're looking at it from a different lens. And that's what this shift or ascension, which again, I know that can be a controversial subject, is what ascension is. And to be honest with you, I believe that in my personal, view of it is that ascension is just really us growing up. We
I
have a better,
agree.
broader
Me too.
perspective.
Becoming adults.
Yeah, and you're right. Like the changing of the perspective. One of the things that I tell people when they're struggling with something, like just this week, I had this situation happen. I'm still in the corporate world, and I had this situation happen with an employee, and this emerging leader who was trying to deal with the situation. It wasn't a nice situation, and I said, on some levels, you can be grateful to this person because you can't develop leadership skills to deal with a difficult situation unless you get served up a difficult situation. Like you never get to practice coping with these things that we want to grow up and cope with. And I commonly use the analogy, if I want to play ball, I got to take the field and have somebody hit hard balls at me and try and field them. And it doesn't feel good when you get hit by a ball. It's not fun to go have to chase it down because it got past you. But to your point, if we can shift our perspective and see that the universe is offering me up a situation that is serving me in some way in my growth, in my ascension, in my development of leadership, whatever it is, like if I can look at that and have gratitude for this shitty situation, that teeny little shift can really just open me up to experiencing the gifts and to be
Yeah, absolutely.
okay in the muck. Yeah.
Okay in the buck, because it's never going to stop. We always want more. We're always growing. It never is going to stop. And so you may as well understand how this is, that it's happening always, and that it's all a get to. When somebody says something, that may not feel good, or I'm looking at something that may not feel good, if I take that step back, and I never make somebody else responsible for how I'm feeling about a situation, because the only reason I'm feeling that is because bouncing off of me, right? Inside. And so every time something happens that would seem uncomfortable, I'm going, oh, this is an opportunity. And I get to just breathe through that feeling. And I specifically ask, what's the higher perspective in this? And spirit will show me. And I swear, and this is, it almost feels miraculous, the answers that come through, because I know that wasn't me, human me, that came up with that answer. Like, I couldn't have done that. I was not even thinking that at all.
Yeah.
And it will be like a win-win-win for everybody involved.
I was thinking of the fog.
Yeah.
Right,
Fucking
Kim?
opportunity for growth.
Another fucking opportunity for growth. We would say, I'm in the fog.
And that's how it feels, right? Like you're in a fog. For me anyway, it's like something happens, I get triggered, or situation, shakes me up. I can't see straight. I can't think straight. And I would love to say that I immediately take full responsibility for my feelings, but no, that's not how it works for me. I initially blame you completely for my feelings. It's all your fucking fault. And if you would just act right, then I could be okay. Okay. But that's my immediate response.
And then she calls me and tells me, guess what that jackass
sometimes
did?
And then we talk about it.
And then I get to the healthier, higher perspective, which is, what is this bringing up in me?
And it's okay if it takes a while.
And it normally just takes, best case scenario, it's taken a few hours. Could take a whole day. But it's better than it used to be, because I used to carry around that resentment and never get to to what's really going on inside of me, which it brings me to it's my turn.
Yeah. Yes. When I first started, it was like 3 days. I would literally just go I would sleep on the couch for like 3 days. So I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. Like, you're
not
right.
Acting
And
right
I'm
again.
like, wait a minute. I know this is just me doing it. What's that?
I said, you're not acting right again.
Again. And if you would just act better, then I could feel better.
Yeah.
But the truth what I learned is that actually, if I feel better, if I intentionally do my meditation in the morning, where I'm letting go of thought and I let my body fill up, like literally fill up with this divine love and adoration for life in general, when I do that, then my external experiences, my relationships thrive. My relationships, you know what I mean? They shift before my eyes.
If I'm filled up, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. You can do whatever. And it's okay. All right. Is it my turn?
And it's
yet?
Okay.
I think it's Kim's turn.
Yes, Kim, let's do you. Okay, it's your turn. All right. So go ahead and just take those deep cleansing breaths. We'll do the same thing that we did with Lora. All right. So go ahead and just set the intention for that root chakra to open up nice and wide, open to receive. You're stubborn. You really stomp your foot.
She is a stomper.
That's
I could literally see you stomping your foot. Like, I could see you stomp, and that's like, so if you like if you imagine the root chakra as like a platform, I can literally see like your boots stomping on the. Okay, so stubborn, that's what's coming through in your root chakra. Okay, so let's just go ahead and move forward with asking for that crown chakra to open up nice and wide. Oh my gosh, I'm literally seeing like cherubs, like angels and cherubs, like flying around your crown. Do you connect with angels, the angelic realm?
I connect to, I don't have physical visions of, but just this divine, beautiful, loving energy. I don't necessarily see forms.
Okay. And that's fine. I think that the form, we tend to use form to help us, recognize the energy more, but it's not necessary. As long as you're perceiving it in one way or another, we're all unique, then that's a huge benefit to you, a huge benefit. So, so these these angels that are around you, they're literally guiding you all of the time. Okay. I'm just trying to get, like, they want to say something. So just give me a moment with them. Okay. I didn't even ask your higher self to come forward. These angels are like, they're trying with you. Like, because you're stubborn. So, so that's why that's why that showed up first, is like, she's really stubborn. Okay. So maybe I will. Let's just go ahead and ask your higher self to step forward here, so that she can kind of be that that liaison. There's a project that you really want to do that you're not believing that you can do, or you are keep putting on the back burner. What is that project, if you want to share?
Well, it's not super clear. I think the question that I
Okay.
was going to ask, the question that I have is really, I am stubborn, and I have this desire to step out of where I am in terms of how I spend my typical day. And yeah, I have lots of ideas, and I I sometimes I feel I'm totally ready, and then other times it's like it's not quite time yet. It's not quite time yet. It's coming, but it's not quite time yet. But I've been saying this, it's not quite time yet, for a couple of years now, and it's like, so my question is, when's it going to be time?
What's the question is, what's the thing?
It's
The
quitting.
question.
It's quitting work and moving into.
No, well, I apologize. I didn't mean, no. There's a project. There's a very specific project that they're helping you with. I don't. It could be this. It could be this podcast, but no, it feels even a little bit more personal than that. And I don't know if you're wanting to write, if you feel like that's something that you're wanting to do, maybe even like a playwright. What is it? I can see why you don't have perfect clarity around this, because it's like, what is the thing? What is the thing? Okay.
Do you want to know what the
Do
thing
you
is right now? The thing I'm thinking about
do
the
you
last
spend,
week. Go ahead.
sorry, I was just wondering, do you have a meditation practice?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
And in that meditation practice, are you clearing thought?
I try to, but I'm not. It's hard for me.
I can see that. There's like a million thoughts going simultaneously.
All the
And
time.
so it's like, I'm even having a difficult time. Like, what is the thing? Like, okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and hear what it is that you have coming forward right now. And
Yeah.
then we'll hear what comes back from that.
What's been coming forward this last little while is, I appreciate the power of plant medicine, and I've had experience with it both as a practitioner and as a facilitator. And I've been thinking about doing a plant medicine retreat in a place where it's totally legal, with targeting kind of corporate leaders.
Excellent. Excellent. So then as you're talking about this, because I was like, it's almost like she's writing a play, but it doesn't feel like it's actually a stage. So you're writing the playbook for this retreat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to help you with.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Okay. So so what would it look like? What would it, what kind of things would people be able to experience? How would how would you set up the space for a session of plant medicine? Start putting those details together. And if you, as best you can, just do your breathing in the morning and as early on in the day as possible for your meditation, and just ask those guides, because literally I can see like cherubs, like kind of like moving around your head, just loving, just beautiful, loving energy. And so ask them in higher self, whichever you're comfortable with, to clear your mind, to give you pure, clear thoughts. And then you'll experience this clarity move through your body, and it will feel like relief. And when it does, just allow yourself the grace to be inspired by the next thought that comes with the writing out this, oh, I have this idea now. Oh, I have this idea now, rather than going, I'm going to write this business model out. What does it look like? So instead of going it from that perspective or that angle, instead clear your mind, appreciate the clarity and the relief that you experience. And the more that you appreciate the relief that you experience, the inspirational thoughts will come. And it's like, and then you can't get it down on paper fast enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, there's been just a couple of things that have been happening lately, and I'm not going to get into a lot of detail, but that support that message. So thank you for that.
Oh,
Yay.
wonderful. God, I'm glad. Well, I just thank you both again so much for trusting me to be able to do this, and then publicly as well.
Yeah, our listeners
So
get
that
to hear you work your magic, and
Yeah.
because for some people they
you
might have never had an experience like this, and they don't know what it's like. And they get to see that it's gentle, and it's kind of a gentle inquiry, holding space,
Mm,
being curious, being
mhm.
open, trusting.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is, and so that's why I like to work with the higher self, is because it's very practical information. Because I don't have a desire to skip past when I'm talking about ascension. What I'm looking to do is enhance every moment. I want to use my higher self, and I'm here to live this life, and I want to live it to the fullest. And so when we're working with our higher self, that's our higher self's greatest desire for us, is to be able to expand enough to trust that guidance that our higher self offers, and to be able to build that relationship with our higher self so every moment is enhanced. It's literally like living a divine life,
Mm. A sacred life.
a sacred life,
Yeah.
sacred life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So I know, Tamara, that that you have a community and that you offer some subscription-based membership options. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're offering? I mean, we got a taste of the readings, and I think
Yeah,
that
this
that's
is just a little appetizer.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have four options. One is just that it's a virtual community where we gather for about 2 hours on Sunday morning, 10 to 12 Pacific time. And so what I do is the same process that I did with both of you. I ask everybody to do their cleansing breath, open up their chakras, and I ask everybody's higher self to step forward. And then I read that energy, kind of do a group reading for everyone with this common theme. And it typically is about how to understand, or how the mechanics of connecting with the higher self are, and or how they work, right? So that's often what the message is about, to remind people, wait a minute, this is how this works. This is how this is operating. This is how you were designed as a human, because everything that we do is spiritual in nature. So So we have that kind of intuitive message that comes through. And then I began bringing people on screen and helping them, just like I did with both of you. And we don't go quite as, we don't do a huge deep dive. It's more of like an answer to a question or a little bit of clarity around something, right? In that community. And that's $20 a month. And then I offer, you can do, and everything that I offer includes
can
that
I
virtual
ask
community.
a quick question?
Absolutely.
Because I'm curious about it, so our listeners might be. On average, how many people do you have in that group call on the Sundays? Is it
So
dozens?
now
Is it
is the prime
hundreds? Is
time.
it thousands?
It's tens. Okay. It's literally like 10 people. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason for that is literally I started this 2 months ago. So I began
this is a
asking
great
Spirit how I can help
opportunity,
more.
listeners.
Yeah, to get in early.
It is a perfect time to get in early. And then even when I'm helping somebody, everybody else is getting something.
Exactly.
From that.
Like I got something out of it when you were helping Kim.
And same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. And what are the other 3 options?
It's okay. Yeah. So the other 3 options are, you can do again, subscription based, one-on-one a month. And then there's another subscription based that gives you 2 one-on-one a month. So that's essentially like a spiritual mentorship program. So that you've got your spiritual advisor on speed dial.
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking
meet
that
a couple times a month. And I literally will answer text messages, or, or we can even arrange a quick call, in between sessions if you're kind of like going through it right now. So those are the 3 subscription based. Now I do offer that 4th option, which is, it is an immersive. It is a deep dive. So what we're doing is we're literally taking you from where you are. And if you want to fast track to the next level of your own expansion, or take that quantum shift, is what I like to say. It is a 6-week program. We meet together for, once a week for 6 weeks. And all of my sessions do include energy work as well to help move energy. But you're going to be going through like literally like this washing of like dense energy and clearing out your field quite a bit, and getting clarity and moving towards what it is that you're looking to bring into reality or birth, right? And that one I wanted to offer. So that one's normally $11.99 for that 6-week immersive. And I wanted to offer, if you go to my website, which is just TamraLaRese.com, and you schedule a consultation and you mention Sacred Rebellion and the podcast, then I will offer that to the listeners for $9.99 for
Thank you.
That's great.
And that is a 1-to-1 meeting. Is
They
that
are.
true? Okay. The
That's
6 week.
awesome.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Well, that is so generous. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I love how it kind of brings us round full circle, just about how, in order to connect to that 6th dimension, in order to facilitate your own ascension, you have to be of service to others. And I think it's beautiful, the work that you're doing. And yeah. So Tamara, are you ready for the lightning round? I think it's beautiful
the work you're doing as well.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
All right. First question. What rules have you chosen to rebel against on your journey to health? Uh-oh, I think she locked up. Come back to us, Tamara. Come back. Oh, bummer. Let me see if I can.
Tamara looks a lot like my sister.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw you getting emotional.
My gosh. Oh, the waterworks coming.
It was like, I need more tissues. Okay, she left. She'll be back.
She'll be back.
If not, then we'll just close it down without the lightning round.
Without the lightning round. Let's give her a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause the recording. So, Tamra, what rules have you chosen to rebel against on your journey to health?
I think the biggest one for me, I would, yeah, hands down, that I decided to no longer feel about any situation in a way that I've been told I'm supposed to feel about it.
I like that.
Because there's
Yeah.
always pure positive well-being underneath everything.
I love it.
Nice.
Okay, next question. What does it mean to you to be holy?
I think that for me, understanding that I'm existing on the 4 levels of spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, and bringing all of those together, trusting that they work as a whole team.
Yeah, that's nice. Last question. What would you like to say to a listener right now to help them rise up?
You are so loved.
Mm.
You are so loved. That just moved through my body as if spirit wants to say that to everybody listening. You are so deeply loved.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tamara. Thanks for listening to Sacred Rebellion. We love connecting with you in this way. If you want to join the rebellion and enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Sacred Rebellion.
Give us a rating and review, and please recommend us to your tribe. Follow us on social media at Sacred Rebellion Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
Until next time, stay curious,
Stay courageous, and most of all, stay rebellious.